Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 9. Okay. You ever seen those dogs that like chase, I don't know, motorcyclists or well, even bicyclists or something like that and bark after them, but really don't know what to do if they actually caught one, you know? That's sort of how I feel here. Is what do I do now that I defeated France? Okay. So, I don't even have any forces over here yet to push from there, and that is something I need to do with immediately. Okay. Who can we get there the quickest? Who can we get there the quickest? These guys. If we get AHQ over there, we could do that. So, okay, so we have this squadron here. And let's see if we can pick up a few more. Nope, none in there. Yeah, there we go. Promote him. Okay. You go out, you hurry up and go. Oh, well, there's already a liner here. Do we have one? Okay. Well, you come over there as well. Come up here to Trieste. Probably the Italians said it Trieste or something like that. Flamboyant, you know. Italians seem to be flamboyant with their. Now that we no longer are facing the French fleet, that was a little bit of my fear here. Convoy raiding passive. Convoy raiding passive. And part of it, quite honestly, was just didn't want to attract too much British fleet attention as well. But we'll do this now. Because this attack here, well, we're still continuing it, and we're adding air power. We can come in from this side here. We can change the balance. So we've caught the tiger by the tail. You're attacking here. Sure. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see if I can immediately put him down. No, they're not that strong. Okay. Well, we don't need Centauro up there anyway, so let's head back this way. And we'll head these guys over here. Okay, well, we'll give you supplies, sure. Okay, industrial production advanced, so we have now advanced our ability to produce things industrially. Medium velocity gun, which allows us a bunch of other upgrades. Oh no, it's here. Right, okay, medium velocity gun. Let's stop this. And we want to do that. I think that's it for armor, because we're not doing other armor right now. Okay, well, I guess we only have more projects than we can do, so. And is it just the or the invasion? Yeah, the slow guys. Oh, these guys, they need to come here. I'm sending the biggest, best escorted bunch of transports this way past Malta. Pick up the fascists to help occupy Italy. Deal with things like this. Once we have stuff. Okay, well. We really should keep up the pressure here. In both directions. Decline military access from decline, because they're not our allies. But we're not at war. Oh, they're talking here. They want probably. Or somewhere. Or maybe they went down here. I'm not planning on at this time. I don't know if they're going to get this via a decision now that it's access controlled or something, or whether, of course, yeah, I'm not even going to try to defend Pendockery or something like that. Right now, I'm not even trying to defend sub-Saharan Africa down in French Africa down here. The Allies can just go take that for all I care. Not that, you know, if I have forces eventually, I wouldn't do something about it. But right now, I'm just using. These guys here are racing to, you know, get in to be some sort of security against invasions and things like that. Of course, the biggest jewel is France itself. We can look here a bit with. Now Germans got Paris. That's the biggest. Uberist. Oh, that's the other thing we need to see about doing here is because we now have the command school. We can do that here. But they got the Uberist province of France. But we've got, you know, some, you know, decently minded capabilities here for the moment. I say that for the moment because we are dealing with a possible counter invasions. A single province already that's has a port, and it doesn't look like Germany is doing much, and I don't expect the German AI to do much. Oh, if we can. Reason that shows up down there, if you don't know, I'm sure I've talked about it before, but in a book published by the Totenkopf division during the war period. But they made one of the longest marches during the campaign, and that, you know, they were part of the, you know, stuff going on up here, Gelb elements. But then, and I forget the second name, sort of the push, you know, after Dunkirk was evacuated and the push into France, the sort of second phase. They made a, you know, long sort of march around and whatever, and then ended up right down here on the Spanish border. They were, I think, the unit that may have, like, made the longest march, you know, a divisional type scale unit of Germany during the Battle of France, not like during the whole war or anything. Some very long stuff would go, of course, if you take the, you know, Soviet campaign, you know, coming in and down to wherever, but it was actually, you know, not necessarily like a hard combat feat, because a lot of it was relatively unopposed, meaning it wasn't like battle after battle after battle. It was just simply... I'm sort of reluctant to send them up there because I think I'm going to want to send them, some of these guys, back if we can clear this stuff out and hold the ports back down to the Mediterranean, where we're sending Centauro back already. Okay, here we go. You can get on board. You can get on board. Good, you're partially. Will you all fit? No, you don't fit. Okay, well, we don't really care that much about the militia unit. About what's up over there. Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll come back for it, but... both of these guys can make it down here, cure the port before the Allies get to it, and do so without being sunk. Ah, there we go, look at that. I guess the hood there, but another carrier, so fairly dangerous. See, that's why I got a lot of naval elements flying around. Okay, I want to pause. There we go. Everybody can get all on board. Yay! Okay, up to here. How will we base? Yeah, we're losing some. We're putting in additional pressure here because they just lost their French allies. And of course, which I don't know if we are at the moment. Oh yes, we are. See, now we can supply here. We can supply all the way around out through here, and even here. That's a stupid move. Well, I may have to go in and do some of that manually, remove some, because some of the stuff I might not choose to do. But... and of course we could send reinforcements that way, but do we want to risk something getting sunk out there? I'm risking, yeah, a moderate amount doing this. So I can take out this port. Okay, we've lost low and we've got medium. Great. Take out this port. These guys stop getting fly. Okay, light armor designs advance, and we're just going to let that one die, I think. Okay. New monumental. Oh, moment has finally come. Another gains. We're gonna have to read that. Okay. New monumental building for the nation. Let's look at the strategic effects again. Partially to remind me, partially to let you guys know what we had, or you can do here. My thoughts. Police building, okay, reduces revolt risk. That's worth doing. Movie studio, well, the Daily Descent is actually something I think that has been added to it. Originally, it was just money, I think. And someone did the math to how much money you end up having to pay. It's like forever to get that money back for a bunch of nations, even big ones. So that's something I don't know if it's modded or anything, but I would automatically give that to the U.S. Because yes, you have big studios like UFA in Germany, and they were pretty massive. I could almost, because if you're just doing major movie studio, yeah, I could, you know, compared to what is, like, I don't know, like in Spain or in Japan. Japan doesn't, you know, doesn't have a major movie studio like this. They did make movies. I am collecting stuff for my eventual one-day event mod for Japan, but it's not like that. And Britain had, I'm sort of blanking on them, but several of the Pine Street Studios and some of the other ones definitely had some stuff going for it as well. Italy, from what little I know of Italy's movie studio, they did definitely produce movies, but what they got really good at is dubbing movies, because Mussolini demanded that all movies shown in Italy be spoken in the Italian language, sort of as a national unifier, I think, for standardization of Italian, but also, sort of, I don't know, almost territorial pride or national pride. So they didn't allow subtitles. So, and because a lot of stuff was, quite honestly, around the world, was imported from the U.S. Hitler was very familiar with American movies, watched a lot of them. I don't know whether he watched them in German or in English with a German subtitle. I just don't know. I think at one time he wrote to see if Edward G. Robinson would come and visit Germany or something like that. I'm sure he would have, Hitler would have met with him. At least that's some of the claims. I'm not sure if that's absolutely true. But in which Edward G. Robinson turns him down, and, something like too many mass killers in one country, or I don't know, something like that, some sort of joking slam against Hitler. Again, I don't know if that's true, but I do know from various things that Hitler did watch a lot of American movies, so he was very familiar with America through its movie lens, in which, if you've listened to my series, if you're, and I know I have more viewers outside of the U.S. than in the U.S., and some of those are in Canada, which is sort of kind of like the U.S. I know. I've never been there, but close enough to know, like they're close enough to know that they're kind of like us, we're kind of like them. I have lived in Britain. Obviously, that's an Anglo country, so in many ways very similar to the U.S. So those two countries particularly, and I'm sure countries like Australia and others, they sort of get where the reality and fantasy divide, and sometimes it just could go back to, I don't know, some of the big over-the-top series of the 80s, like, I don't know, Falcon Crest, or things I didn't really watch, Dallas, or some big things that are sort of, a glamorized, they're not fantasy as in, J.R.R. Tolkien or Star Wars, or even, like the kung fu movies where they're on the wires and they're flying across the screen to do kicks, across the room. They're sort of realistic stuff, but it's not really what America is like. If it's sort of like a caricature or something like that. So if you're part of the, if you will, Anglosphere to some degree, you sort of get where the sort of glamour and glitz divides from the reality of America, even for the rich in America. I mean, because they don't quite have those lives. And even if all of those stories in, say, the Dallas series would be true for someone at some point, and again, I don't think I ever watched a full episode of those, but I do sort of know what I'm talking about a little bit. The idea that that's sort of a composite of the cool things and whatever, or like American, which another thing I don't watch is soap operas, things that, all the cool things from 1,000 different people's lives wrapped into one life and just showing the, sort of good and exciting bits, if you will. So that sort of fantasy portrayal of America that people, even, countries, I don't know, like India or wherever, that has more connection with English-speaking world than, say, I don't know, Turkey or something. So if you only get our media of what America's like, you're getting a version. You're looking through a weird looking glass, if you will, of America. And so, get back to this, that's sort of what Hitler was getting about America. So he, watched gangster movies, watched other things as well. I don't have a good rundown in my head right now of all the types, but he did, it is well recorded, he did watch a lot of American. Now, I'm not saying more than, say, on his movie nights or whatever, because, they in private showings, they showed the movies in the Berghof and places. I'm not saying necessarily more than German cinema. I don't know, whether it's 3 German movies for 1 American movie, or what the ratio is. But it's a lot more than, say, French or Italian movies or something like that. But Mussolini said that all movies must be in Italian, so the Italian studios got really good at dubbing over the sound. And because at least a bunch of the movies came with just a soundtrack, you had to dub the whole thing over, meaning all the sound, not just the audio. You're not just like what I'm doing. The sound effects of the fighting that we're hearing going on behind us. We can maybe. Oh, we're still. I'll close this. We want to stop that. There we go. There we go. Somewhat. So, you know, all of the sound effects of a door opening, people walking across, the Italian movie industry got really good at doing that, to the point that post-war, some a lot of movies that were filmed outdoors and in cities and streets were filmed with no regard to the sound. So, like, sometimes you may be listening to this channel and hear a big truck or bus by, and one of my windows vibrates, and you probably hear it in the background. They wouldn't care about those, or somebody honked a horn in the middle of a scene, because they had totally planned on redubbing all of the dialogue in studios. Now, I'm sure that this is not, because it's an extra step, it's not the case with in-studio shots, but it just, compared to trying to make, I don't know, external scenes in the city of Rome or something quiet enough to hear and not have bad noises in, it just, well, who cares about that, instead of waiting and, the police just drove by, that ruined that take. No, just keep going, and we're, doing that. That's just what I know about the Italian movies, thanks. But I would not give Italy a major, a start. Definitely the U.S., maybe Britain, maybe Germany, but that's about it. Everywhere else, because I know the Soviets made movies and other things, it wasn't nearly the major movie studio at start in 36. But now with the money that you spend, you're not really going to get much of it back. So don't do it for that. If you have daily descent situations, maybe. But so generally speaking, no, I don't think it's worth that. Central Intelligence Headquarters. I particularly like the research party of the palace, palace of the party. That's good if you want ruling party support. And as we can see here, we are not majority support, so we are a minority government. That would be helpful for us. Now the Party of Justice gets more money back, but I would never do that, because I don't need the money, and at least most of my, you see we're down now, but we still have a lot, and we could get up a little bit more by selling a few more supplies. But that ruling party support just knocks it for me. I don't know where they come up with this one. Their thoughts behind this. I don't, because Palace of Justice, to me that sounds French. I mean, obviously it's in English, but at least in no Anglo-English world where you're going to have Palace of the Party and Palace of Justice, but you might have the French versions of that, because the term palace has, I guess, different meanings sort of in France. I don't know in other Latin countries speaking whether palace would have, you wouldn't do, so, because to me that would be the Supreme Court, and I would say that in some ways that's sort of ruling party support, but I don't know. I don't get their thoughts behind that. Maybe if it was explained to me, I would agree. I just don't know. Foreign Ministry, that's cool. Ruling party support, also there. Not as big as that, but you also get some counterintelligence, espionage, money. Now this is a much bigger chunk than just 10%, so you would get some back from that at some point. Imperial War Ministry, reinforcement, bonus. That's good. Okay, so I'll tell you, it's between either this, in my opinion, or this. Research, intelligence. We're going to go Imperial War Ministry, I think. So let's see the plans. Okay. Die Chirazone de Guerra of war. Okay, our moment has finally come. The nation is eager to listen to our Duce, fighter of land, sea, and air, and sky, black shirts of the Revolution legionnaires, men and women of Italy, of the Empire, and of the Abbey's reign. I don't know what Abbey. Okay, listen. Our destiny is above the sky of our motherland. Our honor is irrevocable decision. The declaration of war has already been sent to the ambassadors of Great Britain. France, we are going to fight the plutocratic reactionary democracies of the West. Okay, oh. Because I guess I declared war against France. Am I not? Well, I gotta be at war with Britain because I'm fighting him right now. Yeah, we're at war with the United Kingdom, or did I declare war? I don't know. Maybe because I'm not at war at France? Every time it has tried... in every time has tried to stop our march and often has threatened the existence of the Italian people. Italians, the watchword is one and only one, imperative and demanding for all. It already flies from the Alps to the Indian Ocean, firing the hearts of our entire nation. Victory we will win, giving our land period of peace and justice to Italy, to Europe, to the world. Victory. So we gain a bunch of manpower. We lose land organization that gets declaring war against that until September 40. Okay, and their war on France. Relation declares war on French advance. Okay, well there's no France. So this must be firing because there's no France and we're at peace with France. Or we can do this as suicide. Italy gains neutrality. Relations with the United Kingdom and France. Relations with Italy changed by minus 20. I don't get that one. How we get poor relations with ourselves. Well, I don't need to hurt my land organization, air organization, or ruin relations with that. So we're going to say no, because this event is firing, or decision is firing badly. Okay, so we are going with Imperial Ministry of War. These do have slightly different titles between the two of them. Because we can see this, build this, see money, 1,000. Okay, so metal scrap gain and descent. You can march the rest of the way. It looks like they got reinforced with a marine unit there already. Figured they might be breaking out a little bit beyond. Wonder if the event's going to fire to give Germany this. I'll give it to them. Okay, yes, so we got more land organization, which is helpful. Checking as we're racing everywhere. Yes, we've lost Carentan. Good, we're doing some good there. Okay. Germany enforced conquer on Luxembourg. Yeah, they were sort of a little late to that game. Okay. And broadcasting. Let's also look here and see what we want to do with strategic effects for broadcasting. Okay, we have done entertainment shows in the past so that we reduce our wartime, our peace and wartime goods, but I think we're done with that for the moment. just because we're not needing to do too much of that. So we have small heroic tales and news, ruling party support, national unity, territorial pride. We're going to go with small news and politics so we can get more ruling party support. Let's see the plans. And it will also be cheaper than going after huge entertainment shows. Good, we're pushing here. Anybody who's not really attacking or can attack, they're just exhausted in their attack on. Okay, well, you can hold there, that's good enough. You move towards, no, you go there and you just attack those Australians. What are Australians doing in Europe? This is a European war. You guys stay out. Good, looks like they're gonna make it. And it looks like they're gonna make it there quick enough. Oh. Well, they run into the Anson, the Revenge, Frobisher, Ramillies, Hal. Okay. But, and looks like these guys didn't run into anybody. Great. Wouldn't mind if they ran into somebody sort of small, but hey. Okay, revolt risk time here. Okay. Well, I don't know how much we can do about revolt risk. I'm not quite sure why some is more than others. Because we have sort of some minimums. Waiting for fuel. I don't know why you needed fuel. Well, to stop you from taking any fuel, let's send you over here. Maybe back, but okay. You just march into there. You come to there. Okay, now, so our imperative of getting to the Suez has changed now because we can supply Eritrea the long way around and presumably costly way around for subs, and we have this guy here to march on Tel Aviv, and we'll be getting a few more soon. Oh good, we've broken out the flank there. Yes, we're going to lose a lot of colonies down here, or provinces, or whatever you want to say. Well, good, we've taken that out. Okay, so detach, and we have somewhere close enough? No. There we go. Okay, at least you're attached to somebody. Mostly just come down here. You attach and you attach. here. Come down that way. I think we can sneak you back up to here. We'll leave the mountain unit, but we'll send you there, and we'll send you over there when we get a chance. How are we doing on producing all those garrison units? Those are going okay-ish. Very few are still attacking, it looks like. Oh, you can attack. You can attack there. And you can come down to there. There we go. There we go. We got a little better fight chance. You come up to here, hold that port. Okay, well now, we're going to send you there. You have engineers, so you cross the river, attack across the river there. So do you. You'll do better going across that river. You support that attack. Pact of Steel. We have lost the effects of Pact of Steel. Why have we lost the effects of Pact of Steel? Are we... remember the Axis. Don't know why we lost the effects of Pact of Steel. No. Okay, we've won there, good, but it looks like we've shattered here. Okay, well, that means they can attack Addis Ababa directly, but we got a mountain division there, and they're coming at us with colonial types down here and here. Well, I think I'm most worried about this spot. The rest of these border positions are pretty well, because they can push down into there, but I'm gonna come all the way down here, and we still have that there, and the Eritrean Ascari that are building up there now. Well, Centauro, you come there. You come here. No. Oh, good. Alright, well, what do we need? Well, we need transports. And we need escorts. So let's do 2 escorts. And we've already got some transports, but let's do 1 more of those. Just because I'm anticipating losing a bunch of them. So far, haven't really been happening, but no, thank you. Uh-oh. You come there. We'll cut off their advances. But that's actually good for us, because that means they're probably not sitting in Tel Aviv. So you can have... Oh, wait a minute. No. They were trying to sell us metal. No. I thought you wanted something. I'm not importing it from outside of Europe. Uh-oh, we're at war with Greece? We give them money for fuel. No, thank you. Oh, I didn't know we were at war with Greece. I'm sorry, Greece. I would have showed up for the war if I had known. Well, all we have are fascist militia here. Okay, well, if I would have known that, well, actually, you know, let's you just go here. Okay, can't fit. Come here. I did not know we were at war. When did you join the Allies? Turkey! We give them money for fuel. No, thank you. We're going to launch some mountain units. Okay, industrial efficiency has advanced. Great. And we will stop that development. Oh yeah, that's right. We have a command school down here. So, well, they want to do this first, and then this. Delay. It's the delay. Reducing delay between attacks is the biggest thing for me. Well, there's a big too, but that's the biggest. Okay, well, one way or another, we'll save the situation in Greece. We're gonna be able to hold Tiran. I don't know how to pronounce that one. We need Greece. HQ. There we go. You come here too. Not that you're not also needed in Syria, but the moment we got this for sort of kind of working well. Oh, you can already move. You go to here, here, here. stop that. Well, that really isn't a major defeat. You guys come down here to cut off their escape. Yes, we knew we would lose that province. Well, now we have a real division here, and we're going to connect you to here. Hope we're not at war with Yugoslavia yet. Looks like Germany's getting ready to do something with Yugoslavia. And good. That's what we're looking at. I wonder if we attack this guy. Yes, we lost Pandakari in India. Okay, we have a bunch of... we have some fighters, good. Well, with all this IC, now we're sort of just somewhat randomly panic building a bunch of these various occupational type units. Let's order up another division. There's going to be a fairly decent one. Motorized engineers. We have... now we'll add... there we go. That looks reasonably good. Pretty big chunk there. Now, you guys can declare war and go in after Yunnan or something, but or Vietnam or whatever. But I'm not really looking at that as a... yes, you can take my French possessions in the Caribbean, or my Italian possessions that were former French possessions. Or, oh, Germany did a naval invasion, it looks... oh, or is this an event thing popped up, maybe? Otherwise, how did they get there? Okay, well, that means they own that province now, but oh well. Couple of ICs. You counterattack there. You attack here. You attack here. You attack. And you attack. You go there. Cut off any retreats. Grand battle plan. Okay. We're going to stop that. Yes, well, we're holding this line here, so instead of waiting for that to get up here, well, let's see what we can do against this pile of units. Let's get the fighting units in first. I really hope Yugoslavia doesn't go to war with me too soon here. Transport. down a little more than they're wearing us down. We can get to Port Said, that would be good. You attack with your deep light infantry. You attack is put some more. Okay, you ground attack. Put the pressure on them. Okay, you're still trying to intercept. And your ground attack as well. Well, looks like one good unit and the other is sort of shattered. Okay, won the Battle of Falaise, good. What the? Oh, we're already there. Public information. Okay, we want to stop that and come down here. Okay, that. Now we have a little bit of extra. Those also reduce time, but we're going to do the Navy first. Allied help. Okay, well, we're not doing too bad. Well, this is really back to us already. Oh, okay, I thought it was going to be Germany's going to get down. Yes, since we own it, not just occupy it, makes it different. We'll keep the pressure up a little while longer there. Looks like they're defending that fairly well. We have 2 militia brigades. And here, well, okay, we have this armor. Get the armor to a port. Get this better division to a port. Okay, militia down there. That'll bring other units to there. Casablanca, good. At least we'll have some, I don't know. We'll get to the scripted invasion element of D-Day or not. I don't know if it would fire if it was Italian possession versus France. Support that attack. So I'm just having too much fun with this, but we've got to end this episode. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. This is a fascinating, different situation here. Yep, we caught the motorcyclist. Don't know what to do with him now. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, I love hearing from you. So post questions, suggestions, corrections, tips, whatever. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.